There is something that separates people who are constantly disrespected from people who command respect without even trying. It is not money, it is not status, it is not physical appearance, it is not even confidence in the traditional sense. It is something deeper, something invisible but incredibly powerful. It is self-respect, true, unshakable, non-negotiable self-respect. The kind that does not announce itself, but radiates from every action, every decision, every boundary. And here is what most people do not understand. Self-respect is not about how you see yourself. It is about what you refuse to tolerate. Show me what you accept in your life, and I will show you how much you respect yourself. Show me what you allow people to do to you, and I will tell you exactly where your self-worth stands. This is the truth no one wants to hear. Because it means taking responsibility. It means looking at your life and asking uncomfortable questions. It means admitting that maybe, just maybe, you have been tolerating things that are slowly destroying you from the inside. If you have ever felt disrespected by others, if you have ever wondered why people treat you a certain way, if you have ever felt like you give more than you receive, this video is going to change everything for you. But I need to warn you, what you are about to hear might be uncomfortable. It might challenge you. It might force you to look at parts of your life you have been avoiding. But that discomfort is the price of growth. And if you are willing to pay it, the rewards are immense. Before we go any further, I want to ask you something. If you are new to this channel, take a moment right now and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, because what we discuss here is not surface-level advice. This is deep work, real transformation. And if you are already part of this community, drop a comment below. Tell me one thing you have been tolerating that you know you should not. Be honest. This is a safe space, and writing it down is the first step to changing it. Now let me tell you a story. Years ago, I knew a woman named Alina. Alina was kind. She was generous. She was always there for everyone. If you needed help, Alina would drop everything. If you needed someone to listen, Alina was available. If you needed a favor, Alina would say yes. Everyone loved Alina, but here is what I noticed. No one respected Alina. People would cancel plans with her at the last minute. People would show up late when meeting her. People would take her help for granted and never reciprocate. Her boyfriend at the time would speak to her dismissively in public. Her friends would make jokes at her expense and call it humor. Her family would dump emotional problems on her without ever asking how she was doing. And Alina tolerated all of it. She smiled through it. She made excuses for everyone. She told herself that being understanding and forgiving made her a good person. But deep down, Alina was miserable. She felt unseen. She felt used. She felt like no matter how much she gave, it was never enough. I watched this for months before I finally said something to her. I asked her a simple question. Alina, why do you accept this? Her answer broke my heart. She said, because I do not want to be difficult, because I do not want people to leave, because maybe if I give enough, they will eventually appreciate me. And there it was. The core wound. The belief that her value depended on what she could give. The belief that setting boundaries would make her unlovable. The belief that tolerating disrespect was the price of keeping people in her life. Alina did not have a confidence problem. She had a self-respect problem. And until she fixed that, no amount of positive affirmations or motivational videos would change how people treated her. Because here is the brutal truth. People do not treat you based on who you are. They treat you based on what you tolerate. Read that again. People do not treat you based on who you are. They treat you based on what you tolerate. You can be the most amazing, kind, intelligent, valuable person in the world. But if you tolerate disrespect, you will be disrespected. If you tolerate being ignored, you will be ignored. If you tolerate broken promises, people will keep breaking their promises to you. Your tolerance is your teaching. Every time you accept something, you are sending a message. You are saying this is okay. You are saying, I will allow this. You are saying my boundaries are here, and this does not cross them. And people learn. They learn exactly what they can get away with. They learn exactly how far they can push. They learn exactly how much they have to give to keep you around. Most of the time, they are not even doing this consciously. It is just human nature. We all push against boundaries to see where they are. And when there are no boundaries, we keep pushing. This is why self-respect is so powerful. It sets the boundary before anyone even tests it. It communicates through energy, through body language, through the way you carry yourself, that certain things will not be tolerated. Not aggressively, not arrogantly, just matter-of-factly. This is where the line is. Cross it and there will be consequences. If you are finding value in this, take a second right now and hit the like button. It sounds small, but it makes a huge difference. It helps this video reach people who need to hear this message. People who are stuck tolerating things they should have rejected long ago. Your like could be the reason someone finds this and changes their life. Now let me get specific. Let me tell you exactly what people with deep self-respect never tolerate. And as I go through this list, I want you to check yourself. Be honest about how many of these things you are currently accepting in your life. First, people with deep self-respect never tolerate being someone's option. They refuse to be the backup plan, the maybe, the person someone calls when their first choice falls through. They do not wait by the phone hoping someone will choose them. They do not rearrange their life for people who only make time for them when it is convenient. They understand that they deserve to be a priority, not an afterthought. And they would rather be alone than be someone's, sometimes. Think about your own life. Are you someone's priority or someone's option? Do the people in your life make real effort for you, or do they only show up when they need something? Be honest, the answer will tell you a lot about where your self-respect currently stands. Second, people with deep self-respect never tolerate chronic disrespect disguised as jokes. You know what I am talking about. Those comments that sting but are followed by "I am just kidding." Those put-downs wrapped in humor. Those subtle insults hidden behind a smile. People with self-respect do not laugh these off. They do not pretend it is okay because the person was joking. They recognize that truth often hides in jokes. And they call it out, or they distance themselves. They understand that someone who constantly makes you the target of their humor is not your friend. They are someone using laughter as a weapon. Third, people with deep self-respect never tolerate relationships where they do all the work. They do not chase people. They do not send 10 messages for every one reply. They do not always initiate plans. They do not carry conversations. They do not give and give while receiving nothing in return. They understand that relationships are mutual. And when the effort is consistently one-sided, they recognize it for what it is, a sign that the other person does not value them enough, and they let go. Not with anger, not with drama, just with quiet acceptance that this is not what they deserve. Think about your relationships right now. Romantic, friendships, family. Who is doing the work? Is it balanced? Or are you the one always reaching out, always trying, always giving? Your answer matters. Fourth, people with deep self-respect never tolerate being lied to repeatedly. Once might be a mistake. Twice might be a weakness. But a pattern of lying is a choice. And people with self-respect do not stay in situations where they cannot trust the other person. They do not convince themselves that maybe this time will be different. They do not accept excuses and empty promises. They understand that trust is the foundation of every relationship, and when someone proves they cannot be trusted, they protect themselves by walking away. Fifth, people with deep self-respect never tolerate their boundaries being repeatedly crossed. They set boundaries clearly, and when those boundaries are crossed, they respond. Maybe it is a conversation, maybe it is distance, maybe it is ending the relationship entirely, but there is always a consequence. Because they understand that a boundary without a consequence is just a suggestion. And if you do not enforce your boundaries, no one else will respect them. Think about your own boundaries. Have you set them clearly? And more importantly, what happens when someone crosses them? Do you enforce consequences? Or do you make excuses, give second chances, and watch the same thing happen again? Sixth, people with deep self-respect never tolerate staying in environments that consistently make them feel small. This could be a job, a friend group, a romantic relationship, A family dynamic. If the environment constantly makes them feel unworthy, insecure, or diminished, they leave. They do not stay hoping things will change. They do not sacrifice their mental health for stability. They do not tell themselves, "This is just how it is." They understand that their environment shapes their psychology, and they refuse to let a toxic environment poison their self-image. Seventh, people with deep self-respect never tolerate people who only appear when they need something. We all know these people. They disappear for months. Then suddenly, they text you with a favor to ask. They are not interested in your life. They are not interested in genuine connection. They just want something from you. People with self-respect see through this immediately, and they do not allow themselves to be used. They might help once, but when the pattern becomes clear, they stop being available. They are not cruel about it. They simply redirect their energy toward people who actually value them. Eighth, people with deep self-respect never tolerate their time being wasted. They do not wait for people who are always late. They do not sit in meetings that should have been emails. They do not stay in conversations that go nowhere. They understand that time is the most valuable thing they have. It is the one resource they can never get back, and they treat it accordingly. They would rather be alone than spend time on things that drain them. They would rather say no than waste hours on something meaningless. Their time is precious, and they make sure everyone around them knows it. Now I want to pause here and speak directly to you. As I went through that list, something probably resonated. Something probably hit close to home. Maybe you realized you have been tolerating one of those things. Maybe you realized you have been tolerating several, and now you might be feeling something uncomfortable. Guilt, shame, regret, maybe even anger at yourself. I want you to know that feeling is okay. It is actually a good sign. It means you are waking up. It means you are seeing clearly. It means you are ready for change. But here is what I do not want you to do. I do not want you to beat yourself up. I do not want you to spiral into shame about the past. What is done is done. You cannot change the things you tolerated before, but you can change what you tolerate starting today. Every single day is a new opportunity to respect yourself more. Every interaction is a chance to set a better boundary. Every moment is a choice. And the fact that you are still watching this video tells me you are ready to choose differently. So let me ask you something. What is one thing you are going to stop tolerating starting today? Drop it in the comments right now. Make a commitment, not to me, to yourself. Write it down, because when you write it down, it becomes real. When you write it down, you start to own it. When you write it down, you take the first step toward a new version of yourself. Now, let us go deeper. Because knowing what not to tolerate is only half the battle. The harder question is why. Why do we tolerate things we know are bad for us? Why do we accept treatment that makes us feel small? Why do we stay in situations that drain our self-respect? The answer is usually rooted in one of three things: fear, conditioning, or a wounded sense of self-worth. Let us start with fear. Many people tolerate disrespect because they are afraid of the alternative. They are afraid of being alone. They are afraid of conflict. They are afraid of what people will think. They are afraid of losing the relationship, even if the relationship is hurting them. This fear keeps them trapped. They know they should leave. They know they should speak up. They know they should set a boundary. But the fear is louder than the knowing. And so they stay. They tolerate. They shrink themselves to keep the peace. If this is you, I need you to understand something. The thing you are afraid of losing is already gone. If someone only stays because you tolerate their disrespect, they are not really there for you. They are there for what you provide. They are there because you are convenient. They are there because you do not challenge them. That is not a relationship. That is an arrangement. And you are paying for it with your self-respect. The truth is, setting boundaries might cost you some relationships. Some people will leave when you stop tolerating their behavior. But here is what you need to understand. Those people were never really yours to keep. They were there for the version of you that did not respect yourself. And when you upgrade, they will not be able to come with you. That is not a loss. That is a filter. It is the universe removing people who were never meant to stay. The ones who are meant for you will respect your boundaries. They will rise to meet you. They will appreciate the person you are becoming. Now let us talk about conditioning. Many of us learned to tolerate disrespect in childhood. Maybe you grew up in a home where your feelings were dismissed. Maybe you learned that keeping quiet was safer than speaking up. Maybe you were taught that your needs were less important than everyone else's. These early experiences shape us. They create patterns that run deep. They teach us what to expect from relationships. And often, they teach us that being treated poorly is normal. If this resonates with you, I want you to know something important. What you learned in childhood is not your fault, but unlearning it is your responsibility. You are not a child anymore. You are not powerless. You are not trapped. You have the ability to recognize these patterns and break them. It takes work. It takes awareness. It takes practice. But it is absolutely possible. And every time you choose self-respect over old conditioning, you are rewriting your story. You are becoming the person you were meant to be before life taught you to shrink. Finally, let us talk about wounded self-worth. This is perhaps the deepest root. Many people tolerate disrespect because deep down they do not believe they deserve better. There is a voice inside them that says, "This is all you are worth." There is a part of them that agrees with the mistreatment. There is a core wound that believes they are not enough. If this is you, please hear me. That voice is a liar. That belief is a scar, not a truth. Whatever happened to make you feel unworthy, it does not define you. Your worth is not determined by how others treated you. Your worth is not determined by your past mistakes. Your worth is not determined by anyone's opinion of you. You are worthy because you exist, period. No other reason needed. And until you truly understand this, until it moves from your head to your heart, you will continue tolerating things that hurt you. This is why I always say that confidence is an inside job. You cannot fake your way to self-respect. You cannot just act confident and hope the feeling follows. You have to do the deep work. You have to heal the wounds. You have to face the parts of yourself you have been avoiding. That is the path. It is not easy, but it is worth it. Now let us talk about what happens when you stop tolerating what you should not. When you start respecting yourself at the deepest level, the first thing that happens is you might feel lonely for a while. Some people will fall away. Some relationships will end. Some doors will close. This is the price of growth. And it can be painful, but I promise you, it is temporary. Because what comes next is incredible. You start attracting different people. People who respect you because you respect yourself. People who treat you well because they know you will not accept less. People who value you because you clearly value yourself. Your relationships become healthier. Your interactions become more genuine. Your life becomes less draining and more fulfilling. And something else happens too. You start respecting yourself more. Every time you enforce a boundary, your self-respect grows. Every time you walk away from something toxic, you prove to yourself that you are worth protecting. Every time you choose yourself, you reinforce the belief that you matter. It becomes a cycle. Self-respect creates better choices. Better choices create better outcomes. Better outcomes create more self-respect. This is the upward spiral that changes everything. And it all starts with one decision, one boundary. One moment where you say no more. Before we continue, I need you to do something. If this video is speaking to you, if you feel something shifting inside, if you are realizing that your tolerance has been too high, I need you to subscribe to this channel right now. Not for me, for you, because you need these reminders. You need this content in your feed. You need a voice that tells you the truth about self-respect and confidence and boundaries. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and commit to this journey. You deserve it. Now let me give you some practical steps. Because awareness is not enough, you need to take action. Here is how you start building self-respect in your daily life. Step 1. Identify your non-negotiables. These are the things you will never tolerate no matter what. Write them down. Be specific. For example, I will not tolerate being yelled at. I will not tolerate being lied to. I will not tolerate my time being consistently disrespected. These become your lines in the sand, your foundation, your unbreakable rules. Step 2. Communicate your boundaries clearly. People are not mind readers. If you have never told someone that a certain behavior bothers you, you cannot expect them to know. Have honest conversations. State what you need. State what you will not accept. Do it calmly. Do it clearly. Do it without apology. Step 3. Enforce consequences when boundaries are crossed. This is where most people fail. They set the boundary but do nothing when it is violated, and then they wonder why no one respects their boundaries. A boundary without a consequence is just a wish. When someone crosses your line, there must be a response. Maybe it is a serious conversation. Maybe it is reduced access to you. Maybe it is ending the relationship. The consequence should fit the violation. But there must be something. Step 4. Get comfortable with discomfort. Respecting yourself will not always feel good. It will sometimes feel scary. It will sometimes feel lonely. It will sometimes feel uncertain. That discomfort is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are doing something new. Sit with it. Breathe through it. Trust that it will pass. Step 5. Surround yourself with people who already respect themselves. You become like the people you spend time with. If you are surrounded by people who tolerate everything, you will do the same. But if you are surrounded by people who have strong boundaries, who know their worth, who do not accept disrespect, you will rise to their level. Audit your circle. And be intentional about who you let in. Step 6. Do the inner work. Read books about self-worth. Go to therapy if you can. Journal about your patterns. Meditate on your value. This is not optional. This is essential. The deeper you go within, the stronger your self-respect becomes from the outside. Now I want to leave you with something to think about. Imagine your life 1 year from now. Imagine you have spent that year respecting yourself deeply. Imagine you have stopped tolerating everything that drains you. Imagine you have set boundaries and enforced them consistently. What does that life look like? What kind of relationships do you have? What kind of energy do you carry? How do people treat you? How do you feel when you look in the mirror? I want you to really see it. Really feel it, because that version of you is possible. It is not a fantasy, it is a choice, and you can start making that choice today, not tomorrow, not next week, today, this moment. With the very next interaction you have. Will you tolerate what you have always tolerated, or will you finally draw the line? The choice is yours, and I believe in you. I believe you have what it takes. I believe you are ready. That is why you are still here. That is why you watched this entire video. Something in you is waking up. Something in you is saying enough. Something in you is ready to step into the person you were always meant to be. Honor that something. Trust it, act on it, and never look back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching until the end. You are not like most people. Most people click away. Most people look for quick fixes. Most people are not willing to sit with hard truths for this long, but you did. That tells me everything I need to know about you. You are going to make it. You are going to change. You are going to become someone who commands respect effortlessly. Because you will respect yourself so deeply that nothing less will ever be acceptable. If this video impacted you, leave a comment. Tell me what you are taking away. Tell me what you are going to change. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who has been tolerating too much. Someone who is ready to wake up. They will thank you for it. Subscribe if you have not already. I will see you in the next video. Until then, protect your peace, honor your worth, and never forget. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Choose wisely.